Welcome down the rabbit hole. I'm your host, John Fitzgerald. I'm speaking today with Chelsea Mishakis. She had an insane transformation, and she's kind of vowed to do this cold plunge thing every single day for 365 days straight. So, with no further ado, let's hop into that conversation.
I'll figure this out.
Your studio looks sweet. When did you build that?
Okay, so it used to be my office when I worked a 9 to 5 because I used to work at home. And then I had my husband put it the wallpaper because he was like, okay, something needs to happen like a little bit different in here if we're going to be using this all the time. Because I also have another podcast on Saturday that I'm doing. So
I feel like you should probably start your own, yeah?
I want to. I just don't know if I have the time right now. That's kind of where I'm at. Like I just don't have the timing.
Yeah, it is kind of easier just like hopping on as a guest, letting them do
Yeah, I kind of
all the
like
work.
that.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, all right, we'll see how it is, like being interviewed basically, like for a couple of these and see if I can insert it into my life at
Yeah,
some
let's see how
point.
awkward I am on camera.
Oh, the most awkward human ever. Like, this is so bad.
Well, I mean, you're killing it with social media. I actually found you because I'm also into all of the biohacking things, naturally cold
Yeah.
exposure being one of them. And well, I don't know why, but Instagram always is like, "Oh, you like science stuff? Here's boobs. Oh, you like cold exposure? Here's boobs. Oh, you like infrared light exposure? Here's boobs." So
There's
naturally,
boobs that are doing it.
yeah. Naturally, you were just like on my like scroll page, and I accidentally clicked on it because I was like, "Hey, this person's doing cold stuff." But
Yeah.
so are you a bathing suit model, or are you an ultra marathoner,
No.
or are you an entrepreneur, or are you like what do you if I was like, hey, who are you? What would you say?
I don't, okay, definitely not a bathing suit model. I'm not like any of those things. I'm kind of the type of person that just likes to do hard things and change or like grow who I am as a human being every single year. So I do what's called a masogi, and it's like some Japanese practice where literally they pick one hard thing, or in my case, multiple, um, to do each year that helps grow who you are. So
Very
that's kind
Goggins
of where
of
I'm
you.
at. Yes. Well, I
Yeah,
got the idea from Jesse Itzler. So, and I know him. Have you
very
ever, you
Goggins of
know,
him.
Jesse Itzler?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So did you
So,
read
no,
did you read his book, Living with a Seal?
of course I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Pretty incredible book. That's actually
God,
how I found out about Goggins, was from that book.
really?
When Jesse, yeah, so when Jesse actually released the book, we were able to get it like right after the book was released. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an incredible person. He's one of those people just like you where he doesn't have to do anything anymore. He's made it. He's successful and he's still like, I'm gonna do an ultra or I'm like it's
Yes.
crazy. So is
Yeah.
this your
So,
first
and
one?
we're training my first ultra.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm not a
that's
runner.
wild. That's
I'm not a
wild.
runner at all. I hate running. And I'm doing Jesse Itzler's Running Man Festival in September. So that's where I'll be going in
Where's that
Georgia.
at?
In
Georgia
Georgia. Hmm.
in
Yep, it's
September.
like a 3 day like weekend like festival, but you have 8 hours to run the race.
How far?
Yeah.
50K?
Yeah.
Holy smoke. Have you done a marathon before?
No. So the long I'm
Jesus
also doing a
Christ,
tough
man.
I'm also doing a 15K the Tough Mudder in June. So I figured that would be like, it's like a nice pre before the
Yeah, no,
after.
yeah,
I don't.
you're just a masochist, huh? You just like pain. You
Yeah,
just like
basically.
pain. Yeah.
You're not going through pain, you're not growing, I just
That
like to hurt my own feelings.
I say that all the time. If you're comfortable, you can't grow. Nothing grows in a zone of
Exactly.
comfort. So, honestly, I thought you were a personal
Exactly.
trainer. I had no idea that
Really?
you. Yeah, I had no idea that you had your own business on the side. That it was completely non-related to health. So,
Porta potties.
yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy to think you're like, that's one of those things when you're in high school, you're like, oh, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer. And this person's like, yeah, I'm going to own porta potties and kill the game. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's what
Killing
I'm
it.
looking to do. You know, you got to be the best at something.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have a lot of golf connects, and they have a lot of them there. So like, I'll hook y'all up. You
That
know,
would be awesome. I appreciate that.
how all right. So I gotta ask because it is a strange one, and I've never talked to anybody who's in that realm. Seems like a shitty business. Sorry for the dad joke, but
You're not
how'd you get
wrong.
into it? How'd you get into it?
So it's one of those boring businesses that nobody ever thinks about, but it's one of those businesses that nobody wants to do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so my husband's Marine. He's a former Marine. His one buddy started one out in Florida. We went down there, we talked to him, we researched it for a year, and we're like, there's a huge need for this type of company, but with elevated service. You know, like every
Yeah,
single porta potty you go into is absolutely fucking disgusting.
it's terrifying.
And yeah, it is. And especially for a woman, like, I don't want to go in those. Like, I would rather go, like, squat in a bush somewhere than use
Yeah,
a porta potty.
a
So
hundred
that's kind
percent.
of why we got into the game is like we just saw a need for it and we're like, let's pull the trigger and let's do this.
Hell
So,
yeah.
and
And
now
there you
that's
are.
I'm the
So,
porta potty girl.
porta potty queen though. Porta
Yes, the
potty
queen.
queen.
Yeah.
So wait,
I like
so
that
like
better.
that's like literally hiding behind the scenes of your social media, which
Yes.
I don't know. How long have you had this thing? Because it's grown pretty fast even since I started following you.
Yeah. The porta potty business.
No, no, no. Your
Oh,
social media. Like how?
Oh, so when I started, I had 520 followers when I started posting my cold plunges back in, I think I didn't start posting until like day 20 because I was really nervous to put myself out there. And then from there, it grew exponentially up to 11.4 thousand. I've actually lost a couple hundred in the past month or so, and I think that's when people realize I don't have an OnlyFans. So, because I
I'm
get a
gonna
lot of
cross that
those
question
messages,
off
and
the
that's
list. You know,
never going to happen.
no, don't. There's enough girls that are going that route, and it
That's how
feels
I feel. It
it's
breaks my
crazy.
heart. There's no way in hell.
You have three?
Yes, I do.
Damn. Well, it's not a competition. I have one, and she's nine.
It's
But
100% a competition right
okay.
now.
Well, I
I'm just
remember.
kidding.
I remember when I found out we were having a kid. I was just like praying that it was a girl, and all my friends were like, "You don't want a boy?"
Really?
It's like, no, dude. You know how stupid boys are. Like, oh,
Yeah, but girls are
I
so
drew a mural.
dramatic.
I drew a mural for you on the wall in crayon. It's like,
No,
why
beautiful.
would you do that, kid? Like, my daughter's so sweet. You know, my nephews, I watch them grow up. I'm like, oh,
You're like, no,
just
thank
come with
you.
like, yeah, they just come with like all the problems, you know? And I realized, like,
You're the first person that I've heard that said that. Because everyone's like,
no,
boys are so much easier to raise.
dude, my daughter's so sweet. She likes to read. Like, she'll rip off some of like the plant leaf and like throw it under a microscope. And like, that's how we're playing and having a good time.
That's so
She's
cool. I
so
love
brilliant.
that.
And then like I remember me at 9, and I was so dumb. You know, I was just so dumb.
You didn't get the brains part until after 25.
For real, I had to go to college and realize like, wait a minute, this sucks too.
We
Like,
use these.
yeah,
That's so
there's a
funny.
lot going on up here. Oh, the cold plunge thing is Jesse got you into it, and then you decided, well, I live in Michigan, and it's always cold, so I'm probably best to just do it outside and freeze my ass off. Did you try like a cold
So,
shower or anything first?
yes, so my very first cold plunge was back in 2017 before I even knew like that was a thing. And then Jesse Itzler came along. My husband and I used to flip houses, and we went to a seminar where Jesse was at. And he talked about like wanting to do this like entrepreneur camp where like get a bunch of entrepreneurs together and go do some crazy athletic experience. So we ended up signing up for that. And in order to, there was like weekly challenges leading up to it in order to get you ready because you didn't know what the
Yeah.
challenge was going to be. And one of them was cold showers. And Jesse was like, okay, you guys need to do cold showers. Like to get you ready, we had to do fruit until noon, like just a bunch of crazy things.
Oh yeah.
And then once we did the cold showers, you kind of realize like, okay, it gives you like that dopamine rush, right?
Feels
Well,
awesome.
not as much, yes, not as much as a cold plunge. So I had done them like periodically throughout the years following, whenever I was having a hard time, basically, like when I was
Mm.
stressed. Well, life happened, and November 6th, I had like a mental breakdown basically at 2 a.m. and was like, I need to like completely overhaul my life. And that's when I decided to do cold plunges every single day because it never gets any easier. So instead of numbing the pain with alcohol or, anything else, I decided to numb it with ice
Oh,
and
so you
start
used
to
to
change.
do you drink still, or did you quit?
I don't. Nope, I quit. So
Awesome.
I've also not drank for 112 days too.
Let's go. Okay, so I owned a
Yep.
distillery, right? And I was
You
drinking.
do?
I was drinking all the time. Well, we have like another business where we have a technology to age whiskey with less wood quicker, and who cares? But
Oh, that's
I
cool.
we had a distillery to kind of showcase what it did. And
Mhm.
naturally, when you're distilling whiskey, vodka, tequila, rum, you're sampling these things. So like I put
Yes.
on some weight. I was up to like 240. And a year ago, I haven't drank since December 21st last year. And
That's
I was at
amazing. Congratulations.
and it wasn't like, oh my God, I have a problem. But I'll tell you what, it was literally killing me so slowly. And then now you probably know too. Like I even
Hmm.
mentioned to you, or I didn't mention to you, and I wanted to, but I just said I'll do it now. You can, if you go back far enough, you can see your body change dramatically,
100%.
dramatically, right? And
It's
I tell
incredible.
everybody it's so freaking easy. Just quit drinking. That's the only
Yes,
change you have to do, and you'll drop like 40 pounds. Well, I'm a guy, so I
it
dropped
is.
I dropped a shit ton, but
I was
you
gonna say,
know,
so you basically all you have to do is fart and lose 10 pounds. That's why I always tell all the guys around
yeah,
here.
yeah. I
But like
mean,
I understand that completely.
I I'm not gonna say it's a male privilege, but it's a hell of a privilege, you know. So like, what did you feel like? We'll get into the ice plunge now, like, but the quitting of the drinking and the plunging, was that right at the same time? Was it all at once?
Yep,
Yeah.
everything was all at once. Yes.
Okay.
Yep, I did
So
everything all at once. I stopped drinking the day I had the mental breakdown was the day I was like I need to change my whole entire life and do something about this. Like so I stopped drinking that day and I started cold plunging.
wow.
And I was like I don't know how long I'm going to cold plunge for, but I as the weeks went on, I was like, a year sounds like a long enough time for me to be able to overhaul my life and stick to those habits.
Hell
Everyone
yeah.
says, oh, it takes like, like 3 months or so to like change like your life. I really think that it's longer than that because I did 75 hard last year and, you don't drink and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, summer came and I was like, okay, I'm going to start drinking again and not
Yeah.
working out as much. And, so I wanted something that will challenge me long enough to know where I know that will be a habit for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Dude, good on you. Like, okay,
Thank
here
you.
I'm. It's like hitting the button. All right, I'm done now. I'm gonna go do this now.
Yeah,
You know,
pretty
have
much.
you have you noticed? Like I'm assuming you have friends, but like, have you noticed everybody wants to tiptoe? Like, oh, try it. Oh, I'm gonna put this off. I'm gonna do this then. Like, I as a trainer, I see it
Absolutely.
all the time. Like, just hit the damn button. That's all you
Right.
gotta
Go
do.
in, go all in or not at all. It's like anything worth doing is worth overdoing. And I truly believe that.
See, this is how I knew you grew up in the same neighborhood. You know, like they're the same life lessons. You know what I mean? Most
Yeah,
of the
pretty
people that
much.
most of the people that I interview, you can kind of see. Oh, you're from Southern California. Oh, you're from New York. Everybody's teachings seem wildly and vastly different. But when you talk to like, hey, you're from up north Michigan, because I work in Troy, so like a lot of my clients will come and vacation at the campgrounds in between our houses. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm
Hmm.
in Metamora,
Yeah.
you're in LA City, so they're going to
Yes.
to our county. Like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we're up north.
I grew up in Metamora, though.
Oh,
That's
did
the
you?
crazy part. Yes, I did.
What
I
school did
grew
you
up
go
on the
to?
border of. I went to Dryden.
Mm, not cool of you at
Yep.
all. Oh, you
I know. I knew you were gonna say that.
giant graduating class of like nine. You know, yeah.
Ours was the biggest in 14 years, first of all. I'm going to tell you that. And it was like 64 people or some shit like that.
Right. And you know, it's funny, we laugh about it, but that's also where we chose to raise our kids.
Yeah,
You know?
you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's
You're not
because, I mean,
wrong.
think about going to like West Bloomfield. Like, oh, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of
Yep.
weird influences. You know?
Yeah.
Kids get
Yep,
weird
I
habits
agree
at
with that.
school. Right?
Yeah,
So,
I got weird habits at school though too.
for
It's just
sure.
more like farm country and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
but
going and
it's
tipping cows at nighttime.
nobody else gets this reference. They think it's a joke. You know? Like
It's true
the
though.
only cow tipping that they've experienced is probably from Tommy Boy with Chris Farley.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like,
Yes.
those that are watching, it's real. She's probably done it. I know I have. You know, so and like
It's something that we literally like grew up with. It's fine.
yeah, I had a client just yesterday. People still have bonfires? I'm like, well, are you kidding me?
All
Like,
the
what else do you
time.
do? And she's like, well, we have to, they have to ask permission and all the things. It's like, wow, that does not feel like freedom.
No, not at all. That's awful.
And it is kind of strange. And I also noticed that those that don't do the plunging, right? And I don't like to cold plunge every single day, but I will do a cold shower every day. And the only reason I don't do a cold plunge every day is because I don't want to get wet and dry off a second time. Does that make me a lazy shit? Maybe,
Yes.
maybe, but I do have the
Just
discipline.
stand there like a wet rat after. So.
Yeah, and you're outside too. And do you towel off or do you just try and let it air dry?
So when I get inside, I think it was Dr. Huberman's like podcast where he says like, like try to wait like 5 minutes before you towel off to be able to get the full effect. So I try to do that as often as I can. Now, some days, like the days where it was like negative 400,000 degrees outside, I was toweling off after because I was like, I'm frozen. The one day I went under the water and it was negative degrees, my forehead hurt. I was like, I need to get inside right now.
Yeah, you're like, I
So,
think I literally have a
but-
brain freeze.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was awful. It was
So
absolutely awful. So,
that is all right. So this is crazy. I've never heard anyone say it was Jesse Itzler or David Goggins that got them into the cold plunge. Most people go with Wim Hof first, and that's like their
Yep.
travel down the rabbit hole, right? So do you
Yeah.
do you do any breath work with it, or are you just doing your thing and letting it
so
kind of
I
guide
heard
you?
about Wim Hof when Jesse had talked about it, like when we were supposed to be doing those challenges for the cold showers.
Mhm.
But I never really researched like anything like past that. I actually didn't start listening to Wim Hof's book until I started doing my cold plunge challenge of a year. So I don't do any breath work with it right now. I've just kind of found what has worked for me in order to take myself to a place where I'm not panicking in the water, which is like, slow, deep breaths and making sure that, you're doing like more of like belly breaths or whatnot. So I guess I'm doing my own, but I haven't done extensive research into the Wim Hof method in order to say like, yes, I'm doing breath work, because I would feel like an imposter if I told you yes.
Well, we kind of talked about your training and having you come in because obviously you're gonna have more plantar fasciitis issues because
Yeah.
you went from 0 to 100. And did you read David Goggins' book?
Oh, of course I did. Yeah, I read
Okay.
both of them.
Okay, cool. So you remember that part in the book where he said, "Don't do it the way I'm doing it. Do it this way,"
Yeah.
and you were just like, "Well, fuck that page."
Fuck it.
Is that what happened? You're like, no, I'm gonna do it the way you did it. I'm Wim Hof certified, level 1 and 2.
Oh, no way.
So we can do some breath
Okay.
work, and we have a cold plunge, and you can do one there too, right? And
That would be awesome.
yeah, we'll work on the what will be progressing plantar fasciitis in the runnings. We'll have to have another episode. That one we'll definitely do live. And I'll
Okay.
maybe I'll do the cold plunge with you so I don't look like a total
You have
bitch.
to.
Yeah.
You have to now.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean, I did it with a bunch of people like the other day for the charity, so you could do it.
yeah, no, I saw that.
Fine.
How cool was that? Yours was in New Baltimore?
New Baltimore, yeah.
Yeah.
It
What
was
lake is
cool.
that?
Like St. Clair.
Lake St. Clair. Yeah, that sucks.
Hmm.
Some people don't know what Michigan winter's like. It's they have the thing where it says it feels like after they tell you the temperature because it's that cold, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's -7, but it feels like you're gonna die. You know, it's like
You're not wrong. Okay.
yeah, it's like that's what temperature it really is. It's that temperature, the one you're dying in.
Like, I would rather do a lake plunge than the tub. The tub is 10 times colder.
Yeah,
I feel like when you get far enough down, like when I did the one on Lake Huron, that one was really cold because the whole thing was just ice cubes, like all the way down. And I could stand on the bottom, which was cool. But like some of the other ones, like the Lake St. Clair one, maybe it was like a bunch of people going in. I don't know. But
a little bit
it
of
wasn't as cold
adrenaline
as
with
going in with.
everybody there. You know.
Yeah, it was like more awkward because I was wearing a thong bikini and I was like, well, we're doing this.
No one
And the
brought
guy
their
in front of me,
kids. All
though,
right.
he was, well, my kids were there, so I'm like, power to women. Like, let's do this. Like, I'm not covering up. I don't care. Like, I busted my ass for my body. Like,
It's a butt cheek,
no.
you know. There's that. It's
Yeah.
it's an ass cheek.
You
Everyone's got
know?
one.
Exactly. And the guy in front of me was from Australia and he was wearing a Speedo. So I was like, yes,
Thought you were gonna say
we're doing
thong,
this
so I'm really
together.
glad you went with that. Really pumped about that.
I mean, we were almost there. It's
So
almost there. It's fine.
so that's something that you've been doing for 117 days now.
It would be 112 today. I haven't done my cold plunge yet today, so
Oh,
but it will be.
oh,
Yep.
okay. I have many respects for just being able to do it every single day. What does your running schedule look like with that? Because you have kids, you have a job, right? And that
The
means you also
business,
have a
yeah.
family, you know. So like, how do you what is your day-to-day training routine with the running, the plunging, the children, and all of the things?
So my job is the business, so I just run the business. The kids, school, that helps, but I do have a 3-year-old too, so she's with me all day. She'll sometimes go out with a cold plunge with me, but it's when I can fit it in. If that means it's 9 o'clock at night when I get it in, then that's when I'm doing it. But then I'm also having to make my content. So then as soon as I'm done, I get in bed, make my content and I shoot it out because I do everything same day.
Yeah,
Um, the training for the ultra, that's always in the morning. I get up, my husband gets home at 6:30 a.m. I leave right then and go to the gym. I there until about 7:45, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I come home. And then I do it all over again.
rinse and repeat.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What's your training look like? I've never
So right
trained
now I'm
for an ultra, but we have trained marathoners, and we work with ultras with like massage therapy and manual release stuff like that. But I've never
yeah.
personally trained anybody that's doing that because I mean obviously I'm not going to tell you to do something I'm not going to do, and I'm not going to do that. Just
Come
being
on, we're all
honest.
growing this year. It's 2025.
Yeah, for sure. I'm on pass on that one. Maybe that's when I'm 60. It'll be more impressive. I don't know.
Oh, it really is actually though. But so my training right now, before I'm 3 weeks, in 3 weeks will be more so. I'm doing 2 miles a day right now. And then I'm weightlifting the other time. That's hard for me to get away from because like that weightlifting pulled me out of a really hard time like a few years ago too. So that's hard for me to kind of give up in order for me to really immerse myself in the ultra training. But I'm giving myself 3 more weeks before I basically completely put weightlifting on the back burner and will only be lifting about like 10, 15 minutes a day before I'm just solely running
Yeah,
for the rest of my life, basically. I'm just
that's
kidding.
what it'll
Not
feel
the rest of
like.
my life, but
Yeah,
it's gonna feel like it.
realistically, the rest of the year, you know, and
Yes.
it's cool.
Hmm.
It's right in September, so it's almost like a full year transition. It's like it's not right at the end of like you've made it 365 days of an absolute change, but
Yes.
I feel like that's a hell of a landmark and a hell of a finish
Yeah.
line to put in front of you, right?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
like,
No, I think that's great. Like when I started lifting like a few years ago, it was for like I did my first well, my only bodybuilding competition. Um,
oh, did you did you
and
love it or did you hate it?
I loved it and I thought I was going to compete again, but it's one of those things for me, like I've done it once, it's time for me to move on.
I checked the box too. I
So
only did it once.
yes. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I love, like C-Bomb, like Chris Bumstead.
Hmm.
Love him. Love what he does. Love what he stands for. Great dude. Well, he seems like he is. Um,
Yeah, we
and I
don't
think
really
that's
know.
super impressive. That's
Yeah.
just not something that like I would want to make like my life. I just want as many experiences as possible. I want to build that life resume. You want to add those
Yeah.
experiences, and I think that would kind of inhibit me from growing into who I'm looking to become, I guess.
I feel like it is necessary when people start specializing, especially when they are specialists, they kind of
Hmm.
get kind of douchey. Like not to be a jerk or anything, but
Not to
like,
be a douche, but
not to be a
it's kind of
douche. Like
douchey.
yeah, not to be a douche just comes naturally because I'm a guy. I don't know.
I'm just, I
No,
swear I'm just kidding.
yeah, I'll edit like some
Oh.
fire in there. I got fried. I get it.
Pew, pew,
It's okay.
pew.
Yeah. Damn it.
Oh,
But it's
sorry. Oh.
all right. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. I'm out of here. No, I'm gonna go pick up my
Time to get
man
the hell
pride.
out of here. This girl's crazy.
That sucked. No, it's
Oh.
badass that you can do all that, and it is cool in many ways. Like that you decided, okay, I don't like what I'm doing. I don't like who I'm becoming. I don't like my habits. I don't like my stress reliever. You hit the reset button. You went all in, and you maintained your business, your family. Probably everything got better, right? And what's your stress level looking like now? Like,
It definitely ebbs and flows. I think that, like, there is no, how when people drink, they're numbing that pain or like taking away from reality. I'm raw dogging reality right now. Like that is what I am doing.
thank God I'm the head of HR for
Like
this
so,
company. We're gonna put that one on the board. Raw dog in
uh,
life. I like that.
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes when you see other people like drinking and like taking a step back from their life and like kind of just like, you know, yeah, just like numbing it a little bit, I do get kind of jealous sometimes, but then I remember what I'm doing this all for. So, yes, the stress levels ebb and flow, and when you're succeeding in one area of your life, you're failing in the other. But when they also like go hand in hand, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
when you're succeeding, you're also succeeding in other areas, but you're still failing in like different areas. Like you're constantly trying to figure out where your
Hmm.
priorities lie and with the family and trying to spend the time and do all the things and still show up for yourself. It's a lot, but I don't think at this point I'd want it any other way.
Don't go
Raw
back
dog in
for
life.
sure. Just keep raw, yeah, just keep raw
No.
dogging life, I love that.
It's much more fun. The experiences we have in life. I just feel like everyone's just coasting, and it's like, why? Why are we coasting through life when we could be doing these incredible experiences and like literally, on your deathbed, you won't have any regrets because you can be like, I did this. I did this for my family. I did this for myself. I
Yep.
did this for other people. And that's one of the reasons why I started posting it. My husband encouraged me to post it because he's like, you could inspire a lot of people to do hard things that normally wouldn't.
Yeah.
And, so the stress is worth it most of the time. There are days that are a lot harder than others, but I'd take it.
Hmm.
I'd do it all over again.
And I feel like even with a 5 minute cold shower in the morning, like just putting yourself through something that sucks before anybody else does, it gives me a mental edge before my clients give me some dumb shit excuse or Oh, I can't make it because it snowed. Dude, I drove an hour. You're driving 10 minutes. You can't make it. You know, or like,
Exactly.
oh, I'm cramping and I'm not sleeping. Well, did you take any of the trace mineral supplements I sent you? Because I know I sent you the link.
No.
No, I didn't take them. Well,
No.
did you buy them yet? Because I sent you the link. Well, no, I didn't. It's like, I don't, I used to just like inside boil. Like, dude, I'm giving you the answer and you're not taking it.
On a silver platter, like
Yeah.
here.
Like, and they're just like, yeah. And now, because I do that, it feels like instead of that spike of why aren't they listening, it's like, oh, okay, well, everyone's got their own battle, you know?
I agree for sure. And that's one of the reasons why I could never be a personal trainer is because I would get so fucking pissed. I would get so mad. I cannot do that. Like, I will be your number one cheerleader, but if you give me some bullshit excuse, I'm going to walk the other way because I can't do that. I also have a life. I have kids. I have all of these things, but I'm still showing up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Some days you don't want to, but those are the days that literally mean more than the ones that you want to, you know?
100%
And you get
agree.
that.
Yeah, you have to do it when you don't want to. Perfect example is like
Yep.
paying every bill. Like I don't want to pay my phone bill every friggin' month. If I could do it every other month, I would. That'd be awesome. And I think it's cool that you have a 3-year-old that gets to watch you do this. You know, because that one particular child is probably going to be better than the other ones. Not that it's a competition, but you know, like
Yeah,
they're
but she
probably
sees
the
mom doing those things.
yeah. She's going to be a hard little bitch. Excuse me, but
She is.
she
She's
is.
such a savage. I
Hell
tell
yeah.
everyone that. I'm like, she's my most savage child ever.
Yes, and mine grew up, you know, going to my clients' houses with me, walking the dog barefoot out in the yard or in the trail. She's grown up literally like a savage, just like yours. Seeing what work looks
I
like,
love that.
and seeing like, okay, Dad's taking time off of work, and he's not just on his phone working; he's actually hanging out, right? Like to make sure
Yeah.
that I give her time, but I know that I've got all my time because I make like you do. I make it happen, whether it's 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. or 5 a.m. God forbid, but it happens, you know. Um,
What time I get up every day.
yeah, you just
Even on the weekends.
you embrace the bullshit and you just like you said, you raw dog life, which obviously you're a fan of because you have 3 kids. You know, I have 1, so you know.
Oh my God. You're not
Ask
wrong.
me how it
I mean-
happens. I'm a professional in the field.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I'm just saying.
So the ability to show your kids like, hey, this is just life. There's stuff that sucks, you know.
Yep.
Like you're kind of a super mom at the moment, and I do mean that because, and I'm probably gonna get canceled the second I air this, but I've noticed with a lot of moms, the quality of momming has dropped considerably, and the quality of dadding has kind of slowly started increasing. Like I see a lot more dudes
Absolutely.
willing to like, hey, I'm gonna do the stuff, you know, like before
Absolutely.
when we were growing up, it was all like Disney dads that are incompetent, right? Like or just non-existent. Like, oh, my dad left me in
Right.
a tower. Who the fuck's gonna do that? You know. So
Yeah,
I
pretty
think
much.
I think it's cool that like you actually don't suck, you know, and you
Try
as
not
you
to.
yeah, well, as you sit there and reevaluate your actions, you pull the trigger to do better.
Yeah. And that's
and
the biggest thing.
That's the message, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that people are so in their own way or like, you know, have this victim mentality, especially like I would definitely say us women for sure. Like, you know, we're a lot more emotional beings than men are. So it's definitely harder for us to get out of our own way and see that maybe we're the problem. You know, and I think that like a lot of us do let ourselves go after having kids or, you know, like use them as an excuse. Like everyone's like, oh, I die
That
for my
one.
kids, but would you live for them? Would you live for your kids? Would
Yeah,
you live
quote
for your
that.
kids? God forbid something ever happens, you know, like you're not able to carry your kids more than, you know, for 15 minutes. Like that to me is so important. And I don't think I'm the best mom, but I am doing my best to make sure that I'm better so I can be better for them.
But we're our own worst critics, right?
Of course.
Every
Of
single night you
course.
go to bed like, oh, I did that one thing I shouldn't
Oh
have.
my God, the guilt.
The one thing. Never mind the 30,000 things that you did before that that were right on cue and perfect, and you did find the one missing shoe. I don't know how you lose a shoe.
A shoe.
Well, I don't know where
One
my
shoe.
shoe is, but you find the shoe, it's like I'm missing one glove, and you don't lose your shit, but at that one moment where you step on a Lego or whatever, and you're like, what the shit? That's the thing that you're gonna go back and like, oh, I can't believe I snapped.
I
But
know. Yep.
but the review process is important, and Goggins talks about it, the after action report, right?
Yeah.
And I'm actually really curious. Have you actually gotten people to say like, "Hey, because of you, I started doing this. Hey, because of you, I
A
want to try
lot.
this," or like, are they submitting videos or anything like that?
So a lot of people, I would say it has not been people close to me. I've
Never is.
actually seen a lot of people over the past 112 days have been cut out of my life completely, which has been really wild. But the amount of support online has been really incredible. There's been a lot of people that started working out. There's been a lot of people that started cold plunging. And one guy in particular, I can say, he said that he's had back pain for like 30 some years and he started cold plunging because of me. And he said he's been able to get down his chiropractor appointments because it's radically changed his life already. I'm like, that is awesome.
That is so cool. No, that is
That's what I
so
did this
cool.
for.
That is so cool. You should definitely feel like a huge like personal win there.
Yeah,
Because I try
it
and
was the
inspire people to
coolest
do stuff
thing.
every day, and I feel like I fail them sometimes because they're just lazy bitches. But just by
But
you
you
doing
can't
you,
change somebody.
no, you can't. And you can't care more than they do.
Right.
But I
Yeah,
do
one of
every
my best
single
friends, she
day.
started working out too, and that's cool. She was like, I'm never going to do a cold plunge, but I did start working out. I was like, hey, I'll
Hell
take
yeah.
that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's cool to see like, when you have those people, changing their lives. And it's hard for me to say because of me, because I'm the most awkward human being. Like
That is
somebody in
weird. Yeah.
person seeing me doing, they're like, oh, you're that cold plunge girl. I would run the fuck away, okay?
No, no.
Because it's so awkward. But like, so it is cool though,
That's cool.
like
You've
having
kind of
those
taken on
conversations with
you've
people
taken
online.
on a new personality because of that, though. And it's strange that you say that your closer friends kind of fell off
Yeah,
because when I quit drinking, which was purely just for the sake of longevity and health. Like I've been doing everything health related since I was 16, 17. My first personal training client, I was 18 years old. So I've done this forever.
that's really cool.
And I went to Central, so of course I
Me
was,
too.
oh, hell yeah, let's go, fire up.
Fire up chips.
That's crazy. That's crazy. How did I not literally run
Oh,
into you at any point of our lives? That's
right.
insane. Um,
Oh, that's so
so
funny.
like obviously we knew how to drink real well,
Yes,
and
we
I'm also
did. Yes, we
Irish,
did.
so it's in my blood. I tried to detox and it just stayed there. No, I'm playing, but um, but when I cut it out, I noticed obviously all the health benefits that I thought I was going to have, but the adverse side effects were people are like, why aren't you drinking? I just want to live a long time, man. Like, oh, like, do you have a problem? No, like, dude, if I said no to heroin, would you ask me if I had a problem? It's like the only drug
Right.
where if you don't do it,
That
people
is
are like,
so
oh,
socially acceptable.
oh, he has a
Yes.
problem. He's not drinking. Like, no, dude,
Hmm.
you have a problem. It's
Right. Because you have a problem with me not drinking. Like,
yeah,
why is that
and
such a thing?
our friend, my friend, a lot. Well, my best friend stayed around, just like yours. It's like, yeah, I'm working out now, but all like the second circle, if you will, they're
Yeah,
they're they're gone for reasons
it
unknown.
is.
You know.
Reflection thing that I think it is. It's or like a projecting of somebody's own insecurities onto you.
Hmm.
Like the people that didn't, or the people that did drink and are wondering why you didn't drink. It's almost as if they only had that commonality with you
Hmm.
when you guys were drinking together, so they don't know how to be around you without drinking. And that has nothing to like about you. It's about like your relationship and what that was built on. And I think that's one of the reasons why those people fall off is because they don't know how to change with you or grow with you. They're okay with being stuck in their own habits, or they're okay with their life and the way that it's going,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is, I mean, to me is an excuse, but I
Yeah.
mean, everybody has their own shit that they're
And I,
dealing with.
yeah, and I'm far from any type of psychologist. I've taken psychology class in high school and then singular psychology class in college. But it seems like you have a fairly masculine mentality when it comes to that. Like,
It's so funny
has
that you say that
anybody
'cause I
ever
literally
said
call
that to
myself a
you?
man all. I call myself a man all the time.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
well, it's 2025. It's sort of socially acceptable, but
Oh my
much
God.
less
Okay.
now.
No,
You
I'm not
know,
actually a man. Have
disclaimer.
males.
No, no,
The
absolutely
funniest
though.
part
Like,
is, I always say that about like, I'm a girly girl until I'm not. Like, I was the person always building the bonfires, or like, I drive a 2500 diesel truck.
that
Like,
was one of the
you
questions I was going to
know,
ask you because I had a feeling you drove a truck. I didn't think it was a
yes,
2500, but I knew it was a pickup
it
for
is a
sure.
2500.
Yeah, for sure.
I got the Allison trans, like, yeah, so that's me. So, yeah, I mean, I do have, I mean, my dad was a metal model maker. He worked at GM. Like, my mom was going to, which I don't talk to either one of them anymore, but my mom was going to school, like, for her master's. So it's like I was basically with my dad and my brother, like, growing up. And I think that's where a lot of those tendencies came from.
Hmm.
But my husband's also like a Marine. He's a police officer, like, and my biggest supporter. So I also think that, like, I've just never been like traditional girly girl. It's one of the reasons why I never had like a lot of girlfriends, is just because like I don't feel like I've ever just like fit into that um, mold that most women are put in. Like, I even say the same thing about like getting my nails done. Like, I got them done once in the past like 3 years. Then I was like, all right, and now it's all like ripping off because
They're in
I'm
my
just
way. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's hard to
So,
build a
but I
fire when you're trying to work around those weird predator-looking fingers with the raptor talons coming out. Like I don't even know how people
exactly.
type. They're like I don't know.
I don't know how people wipe their ass.
It
Like, that's where I'm
honestly,
at.
as somebody who's been really big into biology and been in a lot of biology labs, swabbing under nails.
Oh God.
There, and you put that in a petri dish, there's more bacteria growth there than if you literally swab right around the toilet. So it's like, oh, it's
That's why
disgusting.
nurses aren't allowed to have nails. Just
I never,
saying.
I didn't even know that, actually. But
I only know that because, like, I
fun
have a few
fact.
friends that were nurses. Yeah.
Yeah, fun fact.
Fun fact: nurses can't have nails.
Yeah,
So.
we need to fact check that. I don't know if that's bullshit or not, but
I
um,
could be completely bullshitting you right now, and
yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I haven't been to a
Sorry. Just
hospital in
want
years,
to.
so like, and I'm sure when I wasn't really paying attention to what my nurse's nails look like, but
True, you're looking at boobs. That's fine.
probably like scrubs, huh?
I can't.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're in the hospital. You probably want to see boobs. Like, Meta knows. They knows. And it sucks being in my industry on Instagram or TikTok because it's like I have some really good information that is life changing and it's free. It will change everything about everybody in the way that they live. And boobs. You didn't even see it. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know?
That's kind of like what a lot of people have said about my content. Like, I came for the bikinis and now I'm staying for the motivation. I'm like, I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Actually,
Use what you got.
are you getting paid to wear those yet?
No, I'm not. But I did get free ones, which was
Duh.
really cool.
Yeah, that's actually the best part of Instagram right now. It's like I'm like, hey,
Yeah,
do you want me to show off your stuff? I just need it.
I will do it.
Yeah,
Just
for
send me some
sure.
free shit.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we
I have
gotta
not.
we gotta get you up on that. Like they should be paying you by I don't know, probably in like
That
10
would
more
be
of these episodes.
That would be pretty crazy. The thing is, like, I don't know where to start. Like, I've just signed a partnership deal with the biggest cold plunge company in Canada,
Oh,
which was
let's
pretty
go. Good
cool.
job.
Yeah, they're sending me a tub, so I'm pretty pumped about that.
Hell
Um,
yes.
but like, I don't know how to. They told me to send them a media kit. I was like, what the fuck is that? So
I
it's like
got you.
one of those things. Like, I don't know like how to even go about doing things like that. Like
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh, you're doing this for money. I'm like, I don't even know where I would start.
I
Like, I
would love
really
to
started doing
teach.
this to inspire people.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'll send you what mine looks like, and then do you have Canva?
I do.
Yeah, I made mine on Canva.
Okay.
It
All right.
super
That would
easy,
help a
so
lot.
yeah, for
Help
sure.
me.
No,
Help
it
me, please.
and honestly, like you being a female with the proper
Assets.
perfect. I was gonna just say boobs, I was running out of options, like the and honestly, this is gonna go like six different ways real fast. Um, I was walking through Kohl's for the first time in maybe 8 years, and I noticed that there was a very large size mannequin. I judged that shit so fast, I was so pissed, like that they're just gonna normalize just being big and shit, but that's
Just
fine.
like drop kick it.
I just literally shook my head, and there was a lady that saw it, and I was like, "Yep, I'm a douchebag. She hates me. I'm an
I'm
asshole."
judging right
Yeah,
now.
I'm judging a plastic body, but I think that with this asset going on, um, and the fact that they're on a body frame that is not 110 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Like the fact that you're doing these things a favor is what I'm saying. So the people that are
Thank
trying to
you.
sell bikinis, and there's women that are like, "Oh, I don't look like a CoverGirl model. I shouldn't do that." Well, realistically, like, yo, they look great. As a personal trainer, as someone who judges bodies for a living, you're doing the bikini companies a favor, So you should be
See, and
getting
that's what
paid.
I think too. It's like a normal, like, I don't want to say normal body because I have been lifting for 3 years, but
Go to
like we're
Meyer, see
getting to
how
a point.
normal it looks. You know what I mean? It's not
That's
completely,
true.
but it's healthy. You
Oh,
have a healthy body and you're not anorexic, and you're not 400
yeah.
pounds. You're not a two-ton teen or whatever. You have a very
And I
healthy
don't
body.
edit any of my videos. I don't edit any of
Are
them.
you
So like
AI
that's one
though?
of the biggest things.
Are
Oh
you
my
AI?
God.
People
That was
want
the
to
funny.
know
That was the. I was like, I am honored that you would think that.
that.
Or like maybe they were like, this is AI as in like the background or something like that. That's kind of what I thought. I was like, or me. If
No,
you
it's
think it's me, honey,
probably
you're
you.
my favorite person.
Send me a DM. I'm gonna send you a media kit. I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna send you one.
That's
So,
literally my favorite thing.
and like I said, it's gonna go six different ways real fast. I have grown up with three sisters, and I know they're all
Love that.
they're top heavy, if you will, also. Uh, and they played softball, and they would wear like two sports bras just to play softball. Which I don't know if you know
Yeah.
what baseball looks like or softball. It's minimal running in the sport.
Yeah, but you still need them in order to support them bad boys.
Hell yeah, you can't be having black eyes and trying to run and shit. So
No.
how do you gear up for running miles on miles? Is it like do you like sports bra down a size? Do you double them up? Do you
Yeah.
tape them bitches
Yes.
down?
That's probably actually what I'm going to do for the Ultra is be taping them down because um like the chafing too like will be like so much so like I want to make it as comfortable as possible. Like it's going to be difficult as it is. I don't want to be like bleeding everywhere
Yeah.
too, just from
Mm.
running that long. But yeah, I'll probably be taping them down. But on like a daily basis, no, right now it's just finding like the sportswear companies that actually like cater to big boobs because most of them they're like, oh, if you work out, you're flat chested. It's like, no,
Yeah.
it's not
Nope.
necessarily a thing, but yeah, so like that's kind of like where I'm at. You just kind of have to find those companies, and like there's a few like Under Armour, Nike works sometimes, but Under Armour works probably like one of the best ones so far.
All those BTBs out
Yeah.
there, they got to know this now. It's the Under Armour. You already know. I didn't say it. You thought it. You thought it. I just threw out an acronym. You filled it in.
Oh my God. It took you
Yep.
0.5 seconds
Yeah,
to
I
figure
know,
that
right?
one out.
Everybody right there, they had it. So
That's great.
that's something that I've never really had to think about naturally.
Not the balls.
Yeah, it's
No.
I mean,
Okay.
you just throw in some spandex and it's up and in there and I'm
That's
good,
true.
you know. So, but I will say if the dudes know, if you ever run without them,
Painful.
it's not comfortable, you know. It sucks. We all have our things going against us, but you posted this thing about David Goggins today, about his pull-up challenge, and you remember
Yes.
reading that part where people were he used his critics to help him get to that.
Made a mixtape.
Yeah, made a haterade mixtape, but a lot of the things were kind of like what I'm going to point out real quick. You don't have a typical runner's body, especially for an ultra.
Yes.
You have a couple
know.
things going against you. You have muscle on your legs. That's not gonna help.
Yeah.
You got boobies
I
weighing
know.
you down a little bit, kind of ish, and right, like you've been lifting, so your body's not gonna be. You've noticed a 2 mile run feels pretty good. You're gonna be doing
Yeah.
like that to an exponential degree in no time. Has anyone told you it's a terrible idea yet?
100%. I mean, everyone's told me like a lot of the things that I do are a terrible idea, but like that's kind of one of the reasons why I do it is because I'm going to do it regardless of whether anybody tells me that it's a terrible idea, because I'm not here to fit into somebody's mold of what they think I should look like or be in order to get to where I want to be.
That's badass.
So,
I love that.
I think, I mean, I am cutting right now. I've been cutting for the past few months, like, and I'm going to continue to cut, like, in order to, help make it easier on me. It's not going to be easy, but make it easier on me as, like, I continue to progress in my training. But I know that I don't look like the typical runner, and I probably won't ever do an ultra ever again after this year. But like, in order to get there, I know I have to do something different, to be able to get there, basically.
Yeah. And you're putting yourself in a very small percentage of people. I mean, do you know the statistics of people that have ever ran after 30? 5%
No,
of people.
I don't.
5% of people after they turn 30 will sprint again in their life.
That's insane.
That's like nobody.
That's insane.
The percentage of
That's like
people that are going to
nobody.
pick to go, yeah, that's nobody. Like that's crazy. There's
That's actually
8,
absolutely
9,
insane.
give or take billion people on the freaking planet, and 5% of them are going to sprint one more time, just once.
Just
Okay.
one time?
And just one more time after they're 30, they will sprint. And then that's excluding like your kid's about to get hit and you run over and grab them real quick, right? Like
Yeah.
on purpose, I'm going to go for a sprint. But the people that actually run ultras are of that 1%, even a smaller percentage, right? And a lot of people will tell you, hey, it's not really for you. Like you don't have to do that, like you stick to what you're good at, work on your strengths and get really good at one thing. And as a
Yeah.
personal trainer, that's a terrible option also, because I focus really hard on studying anatomy, physiology, physics, biophysics, endocrinology, all of the things that will help me be a better trainer. And the world went digital, and now you become a podcast producer, a video editor. Like you started your social media, and you're like, well, I don't know how to do any of this.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah,
I don't know what I'm
there's
doing.
a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. And you do it anyway. I feel like a lot of people's dreams die with the fact of like, I don't know how, even though they have one of these in their freaking hand. And it tells you everything. It tells you
Yeah.
like there's no excuse for being an idiot anymore or lazy. Like you can find out everything. And I love
Absolutely.
that you're like, yeah, of course people told me it's not for me. And that's why I'm doing it. That's so cool.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
What is the training doing to your body? Because you've lost I don't know how much weight. How much weight have you lost? If you don't care to disclose, like you've
So-
lost visibly a shit ton. You know?
Yes. In the past 112 days, it keeps fluctuating right now. I think I've hit a plateau. Like that's kind of why I dropped my calories again. I've hit a plateau right now, so I keep like fluctuating between 26 and 23 pounds in the past 112 days. So
And
yeah, it's
and
been pretty incredible.
you literally just cut alcohol out and did the cold plunge.
Yep. And well, and I've been working out, but yeah.
But were you doing that before?
Yes.
Yeah. So
So I
the big
guess.
two changes. What about your diet? Like, did you change that at all, other than cutting out?
So
God only knows what kind of
yes.
calories.
So I wasn't tracking before. Basically when life happened, I just like I was always an emotional eater. So like whatever sounded good in the moment, I was gonna eat. Um, but doing the cold plunges and like not drinking alcohol has really helped me like choose better options. So I started tracking again, obviously because I need to like with my cut and whatnot, but it really has like allowed me to focus on like okay, I'm trying to fuel my body because sometimes if I'm doing the cold plunges and I'm not like fueling my body correctly, I get really touched out. Like you should
Mm-hmm.
know this, like being a dad, like if your kids are on you all the time and like there's so many sounds and everything, you're like everybody please
It's a
get away
lot of
from me. So it's like a
stimulation. Yeah.
sensory, yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's a sensory overload. So like, and I realize that when I'm not feeling my body correctly, like that tends to happen after a cold plunge. So I started, like making sure that like, okay, I'm feeling my body like more correctly. But yeah, so I mean, it's just kind of like dripped down into like every aspect of like my life when it comes to, like my health and fitness whatnot.
Yeah. I think it's so cool because the whole down the rabbit hole journey is it's sort of what I'm coaching is not like a fitness thing. It's literally it's all of the things, right? You're not sick because of your diet alone. You're sick because of everything that you do
Right.
sucks, right? You're not fat. You're not
Right.
fat because you ate food. You're fat because you live your life like a piece of crap. It's like you're not
Hmm.
depressed because somebody yelled at you. You're depressed because everything you do for autoimmune regulation and emotional regulation sucks. Like we don't learn these skills.
Right.
You're a self-taught masochist who's like, oh, I'm figuring it out as I go. You know what I mean?
you're, you're not
Yeah.
wrong. So
Yeah, no, it's
yeah,
like, oh,
pretty
that
much.
sounds like it's going to be hard. Oh, the side effect is I am calm as a cucumber. Like, this is crazy. Yeah. Maybe not that calm, but
Definitely not that calm. I'm definitely think there's a little bit of psychoticness when it comes to like you have to
you
be. You have to be a little bit
decided
crazy.
in Michigan, you decided to do cold plunges in the coldest freaking months. Like, there's obviously something
It's been the
like
coldest
clicking a
winter we've
little
had in.
wrong.
This has
Yeah,
been the coldest winter we've had in years too. I'm
with
like,
the
what the
most snow.
fuck?
With the most snow.
I know, but I
Like
already
it.
committed. Like, I that's the biggest thing. Like when you say like you teach all those things, the biggest thing that people don't realize is when they say I'm going to start Monday and then they don't start. It's people are constantly making these promises to themselves and never following through. And that's one of the things. When I said I was going to cold plunge every day, I made a commitment. Like that's how you build confidence. Like that's how you get yourself out of bed. That's how you do these things. That's how you biohack your life in
Mm-hmm.
order to get the confidence to do the things to change your life. You have to commit and you have to do it,
Yes. Preach. Keep
even when you
going.
don't
Keep
want
going.
to.
Don't be stopping. No, keep going. I'm tuned in.
Let's go, bitch.
Yeah, I'm fired up. Let's go fight somebody. Like, shoot.
Let's go jump in the cold water. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
I'm about to go grab a fish with my bare ass hands, just whop and just take a bite. I feel savage already.
Oh
It's
my God,
it's
do it.
it
Take
is
a
no, it's
video.
pretty badass to see you do it. And the fact that most people just like you said, they just don't start. And a lot of people will will start their fitness journey with the gym, and then they trickle into, oh, maybe I should track my food. Probably my Fitness Pal, right? The
Yep,
app, yeah, clutch.
so easy.
And then yeah, without even like, oh, I'm gonna go on a diet. If you just like look and track your food, you're like, oh God, I suck. and you make the
Right?
adjustment right away. Yeah, but
Yeah.
and then the pinnacle of their health and fitness journey comes from like lifting weights, and they're like, okay, well, I didn't get to where I want, but I'm doing the things, and they never keep going, right? They never focus on like, well, shit, maybe it's my sleep. Well, I have
Hmm.
all this the thyroid issue, and they never think it's like, oh, it's my sleep and my light exposure, right? Like they don't go
Hmm.
that far, and they find themselves stuck in telling themselves they're trying at the other end of the rope, you know? And
Yep.
they don't like that you and I are going to tell them, well, there's way more to keep going and finding. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just so tired of trying. It's like, dude,
It's like, I get it, man. We all have life. We
that is
all have
life
life.
though. Like if you stop, then
Mhm.
you're dead. You know?
Well, in this generation, and like, the more we get into social media, the more that we get into anything, it's like everything is so instant gratification. If you don't lose 10 pounds by tomorrow, like, I'm over it, it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of tracking and calculating over a certain period of time, like, it's like I said in the beginning, like, the reason why I'm doing this for a year is because that will help me change my life. Not like, okay, I did it for 30 days, like, good to go. Like, this is a long progression of things that need to continue to happen in order to change your life. And I think that's what people don't understand, or they're not
Yeah.
willing to give it the time. It's like, that time is going to pass anyways.
Hell yeah.
Like, why don't you do something about it?
Yeah. And it's nuts to me that and forgive me for saying, but you're just a normal person.
Yeah,
Like
I am.
you're
There's
not
nothing
me.
special.
You're not me. That's like, and I'm also a very very normal person. But you're like, I have this educational background, and this is like my niche area. This is what I've been doing. You're just
Yeah.
a regular person with a regular life, with a family, with a business, with a husband, probably with fucking dogs, and you're just like, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and
Yep.
and somewhere in you, I believe wholeheartedly it's the country upbringing, and I'm so proud of it. But I think that is
Same.
part of it, where it's like I'm going in, and like you're just like you said, you sounded like my dad and my mom at the same time. Like anything worth doing is worth overdoing. It's like, God damn,
It's true.
did we grow up in the same house? Were you adopted? Like, were you one
Basically.
of? Yeah, like for real. Like, are you a
I was
sister I
the
lost
child
or what?
recovered.
For real. But it's just this is the living, breathing proof that you don't have to be special. You don't have to have insane education. You don't need a personal trainer. You don't need anything but like a commitment, right? Like
Yes.
you just, all right, this is what I'm going to do. And
And you
don't be,
can't change for anybody else but
yeah,
you.
right.
People want to change for their family, but that'll only get you so far. Like, yeah, I do want to be better for my kids. I do want to be better for my husband, my business, everything. But the person I need to be better for is me, so that
Mm,
I can be better for them.
yeah. And then I think a lot of people get like that analysis paralysis or whatever is analysis by or paralysis, but
Yes.
well, thank you, where they're like,
Paralysis by analysis,
yeah,
right?
where
Yeah.
yes,
I don't
yes.
know. Whatever.
Somebody will comment and let us know,
That thing.
but where they're just like, I don't know what the first step is. Should I change my diet? Should I start working out? Should I do breath work? Should I focus on my sleep and my circadian rhythm? Do what do I do? And there's so many things they become overwhelmed. And
Hmm.
you were like, well, I already work out kinda, so I'm just gonna pick another one. Like there is no like which one's best. It's not
Yeah.
like a linear path. There's there's so many different ways you can get to healthy, and
Yes.
you don't have to do what the book says verbatim. Like make it for you, right?
Right. Go for a walk outside.
Hell
Go for a
yeah.
walk on a treadmill. Walk
Yes.
around your house. Like,
Yeah.
whatever that means to you. And then just start adding in little things. I think that's what it is too, is like, yeah, I'm maybe a little different where I like to go balls to the wall like all at once, just because like that helps put enough stress on me to where I'm like, okay, like, I made this, like, I'm going to continue to do this and refine. Whereas, like, I think, like, in order to help a lot of people, like one step at a time, like one baby step at a time. Like, okay, you've gotten your fitness down, great. Now start adding in healthier eating, or you got your healthier eating down, like start doing that. Like just like a slow progression. Like you said, it's not linear. It's just doing it when you don't want to do it too.
Yes. Like you said, make a commitment, go all in, raw dog that shit, get up in
Raw
there.
dog your life.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm gonna make a shirt. I'm making that a shirt.
Raw dogging reality.
Yeah. Yes. Actually,
I better
yeah.
get credit for that one.
No, yeah, for sure.
That reminds me of these one koozies that my husband and I found, like, because we love boobs, obviously, too, and they're called boobsies, and they literally have boobs on them.
Yes.
They're called boobsies. Go look them up. You can get them
You know,
on
honestly,
Amazon.
they should just come. They should come with like a pair of boobies where it's like a double holster, right? So it's like,
You know? That's
yeah.
actually a great idea. But instead, you can, like, press on them.
Oh, if they're like the stress balls,
Yeah, but, like, on a koozie.
yeah,
So, like,
hell yeah, like a bag of
they're great.
sand, you know? No, that'd be
That'd be so funny.
right.
Oh.
I feel like there's enough BTBs out there that like we could sell the shit out of that, you know?
Oh,
And
100%.
no dude out there is gonna be like, well, no, I don't like boobs. Well, not no dude, but
There's all just those guys that are shaming the ones that have them, so it's fine.
I mean, I don't know why, you know, but even the gay dudes love boobs. Like that's how you know.
Right?
Yeah,
I
that's how
know.
you know. Like, and I can go shirtless and pop into a cold plunge, but like man boobs, like I actually like I have a built body. I don't have moobs or anything, but like man parts don't have the same pull. You know,
They just don't.
I can't start an OnlyFans, and I even thought about making one as a joke, like just going around doing chores shirtless without a woman telling me I need to do them. You know, like this is me taking the trash out because it's full, and like this is me
That
doing
would
the
be, you
dishes
know what?
because
You'd
it
probably
needs
get
to
a
be
ton
done.
of subscribers.
But but like
Oh,
a
that's
girl
funny.
can start an OnlyFans where they just like literally put their feet in peanut butter and they become a millionaire. It's fucking
I just don't understand that.
me
What's
neither.
great is when I started getting all of those like people asking me if I had one, I really wanted to
Really?
get somebody who was like, oh my God, they flood all the time. It's
No
insane.
shit.
Just because I'm in a bikini online, that means I automatically have an OnlyFans apparently to the masses, which
Yeah, probably a
fucking pisses
prostitute as
me
well,
off.
right? You know,
Oh,
definitely.
100%, I'm a hooker.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, she
but
owns her own
like, I
business.
think
I
that's
wonder.
yeah, I wonder what kind that is.
That's
But no, what I
crazy.
really wanted was like some computer like genius guy to make it look like I had an OnlyFans link, but when you clicked on it, it was the judging Jesus. Do you know what I'm talking
Oh
about?
yes, that would be fucking amazing.
I wanted that so bad. I was like, I asked like my brother, I was like, do you know anybody that can make this for me?
Please, please, do you know
I know.
anybody? I just need
It'd be
a
so
nerd.
great.
Yeah,
And then just so I knew it would like calculate the statistics of how many people clicked on it, so I can judge
right.
everybody.
But
That's so
really,
terrible, but yeah, that's
it's
what I
it's
wanted.
it's like a weird like showcase of the epidemic of like what social media and the internet kind of has done to people.
Yes,
There's literally guys willing to pay for somebody to record a video special for them. Like how lonely do you have to be?
that's what my husband said. He was like, I don't understand like the appeal, but like I also don't understand all of these pretty women that are like could have so much more going for them that are doing that. I'm not here to judge you. Like you want to do an OnlyFans, that's fine. Like that's on you. Like you do your thing. I just don't understand it. Like it's just
Yeah,
it's not something I will never understand. Having three daughters, like that is not something I would want them to do.
correct.
Like I said, not gonna judge you. You do you, you get your bag. But I feel like every single time I see an attractive woman come across my Instagram, I click on her page, there's automatically an OnlyFans link. And I just don't get it.
Mm, yeah.
It does make me sad for like what's going on in this generation.
I feel like it's not it's not helping the situations, all of the situations at hand. I find it very beneficial for kids specifically to have a family, to have a role model, right? To have people together.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a movement when we were growing up, and you know the phrase of "I don't need no man," right?
Yep.
I don't need no man.
Yep.
Turns out
I'm an independent girl. I do
all
what I
these women that
want.
don't need no man now need like 37,000 of them to just pay $5. Like you don't need one, you need millions at a time, and you need all the gratification. And I'm
Oh, it's so
wondering,
terrible.
but I'm also wondering, is that like part of the whole like I mentioned earlier, the Disney dads, like were they not good dads, and that's why people are looking for the gratification, or is it straight up like I'm only hot for so long, and I'm gonna go get this money, or I'm not that smart.
It could
I
be,
don't,
it
what is
seems to
it?
be an easy way. It could be an easy way to make money. And, like, I think that's what it is. The instant gratification type thing is like, okay, I can just post like my naked body all over this website and get paid from people to do that.
Hmm.
And like, I think that's what it is. It's nobody wants to work for anything nowadays. And it's like,
Yeah.
it I'm all into like doing uncomfortable things until it comes to something like that. Like
Well,
there ain't no way in fuck you could pay me millions of dollars to do that. Like
nope.
that's what I told my husband. I was like, you could pay me millions and I wouldn't do it.
I think
No,
that's more of a moral code thing than anything, right? Like it's just not for
true.
you because you believe in different things, right?
Yeah,
So I mean,
and
some
I
people
know.
are about just the money. That's fine, I guess. But I'm curious. Like you said, I'm not here to judge anybody, but I am. I'm a straight judge. Every single guy that is funding this thing, like just a PSA, there are websites where you can see tons of naked boobs for free all the
For free.
time.
I think I think what the appeal is when they find somebody like on social media that they think is attractive that has like, a life where they're not just like this actress behind, like the camera. I think
Yeah,
that's what the appeal is. It's like, somebody with real life, like, you get insights, a little bit of insight into their life because of social media. And I think that's what the appeal is. Like, oh, I found her hot. Like, I want to go pay like whatever money in order to go see her take her clothes off, whatever. I don't know.
it's
That's
crazy.
just my guess.
It's crazy.
I don't know.
And
Don't
I,
make any sense to me.
yeah, I think it actually bleeds into the self control and the commitment thing that you were talking about. That the cold plunge has brought you, where you're like, yeah, man, it's just
Hmm.
I'm gonna commit to this wholeheartedly. I don't know if these people have self control to even stop anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's their
Once the
habit.
money
They
becomes
probably
too
get
good.
home and they sit down
Mm.
and they're bored and lonely. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd seen an interview with this one like OnlyFans model and like her biggest paying customer and he was like, yeah, I've already spent $37,000 on you. And I was like, what in the right why?
How? What do you get out of it? You
I
know.
think like and she met him in person, which was such a bad idea. I was like, you should not. That's like how
She's
murders
alive
start. Like,
still.
no. I don't know. Like that was like the last video that I seen, so I was like, oh my
Okay.
god. But he
Oh
like
God.
asked to touch her hand and it was so creepy.
That's
I was
weird
just
in
so
its
grossed
own.
out by the whole thing. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. You
I just
you and I
totally went
think
down the
we're
rabbit hole.
no, we think we're weird, but there's someone out there that's like, I paid to see your peanut butter feet. Now can I just like touch you? Like, ugh, like
Yeah.
it's imagine just imagine these weird internet exchanges in real life. And I do this all the time as like a
Oh
comedic relief
no.
to my life. But like somebody saying, "Are you AI?" Like all that alone is like it's just so weird.
I
You know.
know, that's what I was saying. I'm like, okay, I understand it's like getting advanced, but like I don't like I said, I don't filter any of my like I don't edit like that part of my videos because I'm like there's no like real people animore.
Would you
Everything is
call them
so overly
raw?
edited and shit.
Would you call them
I would
raw
raw just
videos?
those raw dog videos. Well, that's
That's
the thing too. Is
hilarious.
like everything's like expected to be so perfect. That's why I also throw my personality in there, or like the bloopers at the end. That's my favorite part because I'm like, that's me.
Yeah, I'm not
If you
perfect,
don't
and
like it,
there's a
then
lot
don't.
of fuck ups.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a normal person, like, and so the AI comment like really threw me for a loop.
Kind of not a bad
I'm
ego
gonna.
boost though, right? Like
I was like,
a little
thank you,
taller today.
sir.
Ha ha.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, hey, my husband's name's Charlie. I was like, did you know that somebody thought I was AI today?
He's got to be sitting back like, damn, dog, like jackpot. You know,
Oh,
I'm doing
100%. He
okay.
loves it.
I'm doing
He
okay.
loves it.
Yeah.
My biggest supporter. That's my rock right there. He is taken a photography course, like a videographer course or whatever, to help like
No
with
shit.
angles and stuff. Like, yeah, he's
Wow.
loving it too. Like, so it's like we're doing it together because he'll do cold plunge like once or twice a week too. So
There.
I've got one. My husband's a canine officer for Macomb County. So
What a badass.
right.
I always thought that'd be a super cool job. I was actually in the gym yesterday, and somebody was telling me that their husband was a canine handler for the Air Force. And I instantly
Oh
snapped to
no.
like this motherfucker's got a dog with a helmet and goggles, like paratrooping out of a friggin' airplane. And I was like,
How
wait.
fucking cool that is.
I was like, fact check is like the dog and he like, oh yeah, jumped out of airplanes. I'm like, God, that's so much cooler than my life. You know, like
So freaking cool.
yeah, and like the only way to get to doing those cool things, full circle conversation, is he had to do a lot of hard shit that did not sound fun. You know,
Like,
the cold plunge when you get into cold water and you have these respiratory proteins within your mitochondria. Do I have a pen? I do. Haha. So you have. Do you remember this from the biology class? You have these like cytochrome and these respiratory proteins, and the electron kind of bounces from spot to spot to spot. Can you see that? Right? Okay, so
kind
this
of,
is
yeah.
like this is one of the proteins that we're transferring our electrons from. Every time that those things separate by like 1 unit of measurement, it's called an angstrom. A little nerdy, doesn't fucking matter really. But every time they get further apart by 1 unit, we lose an energy factor of 10. So we're not making all the energy and utilizing it, it's given off. And and now you're protein, or sorry, now you're positive because of the protons. You haven't discharged everything, right?
Interesting.
You're losing energy, and you're not actually being able to use what you're supposed to be able to produce. So a lot of people think that getting fat is an excess of food, when really, in a fundamental level, it is an excess of protons. It's the fact that they are not utilizing the energy appropriately, right? Like
No shit.
if you think of a star in the sky, what happens when it dies? Does it get bigger or smaller?
Doesn't it get bigger at first?
It gets bigger.
Smaller?
You fuck
Okay.
up your ankle.
Like,
You
no.
roll your
I was like, no.
pop quiz. If you mess up your
I
ankle,
know. I'm like, oh fuck.
this is what I was nervous about. No, if like I just broke my toe the other day walking. I kicked a curb because I was texting, and yes, that's embarrassing. But
Wait,
does it
that
get?
actually happened?
Yes, it's blown up like a balloon right now.
Oh my
And
god.
the worst part is I was wearing shoes, and I thought, like I'd probably fine. No, I failed. But you think that thing got bigger or smaller? It got bigger.
Huge.
When people have
Yeah.
cardiac problems, what does their heart do? Does it get bigger or smaller?
Gets bigger.
So every time that you have energy loss in anything in the whole universe, this is a universal law. Anytime you have energy loss, you get bigger. So why the hell is our body any different? Right?
That's so interesting. You just like blew my mind for the past like few minutes. I'm like, holy fuck.
So when you get in that cold water, right? And you quit drinking, you're eliminating all of that inflammation. You're shrinking the distance between your respiratory proteins. You're able to get more energy out of each and every single time that you're trying to do this. You're not losing nearly as much energy. You're losing weight because you're more efficient. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Inflammation kills us,
Yes, it does.
along with parasites and cancer and and unnecessary vaccines and weird shit. But like mostly it's inflammation that's killing people, right? And when you have joint pains, that's inflammation. And if you follow Robert Uber, the guy that kind of made grounding repopularized,
Yeah.
he's got tons of studies about grounding and with the MRI imaging of before and after on the same subject. And you can see that
So
the
do you sleep
inflammation's
on a
just
grounding mat?
hell yeah. I have grounding sheets. My daughter has grounding sheets, grounding pillows. Everything's 12% woven with silver and organic cotton. It has to be. Other weird thing, if you get nerdy enough and you get into Einstein, you learn like everything is a vibration, right? And
Yeah,
everything
I was
is
gonna say,
light.
are you a manifester?
Well, on that note, if everything is vibration and you can test it and sort of course, yes. But if everything is a vibration, when you're wearing synthetic clothing and you look at the vibrance of them, like polyester has the same level of vibration as a dead human.
Oh
Cotton
my God.
cotton resonates the same as a healthy individual.
Now do I have to go through and like throw out all my shit? What about leggings and stuff that I wear to the gym?
Well,
Son of a bitch.
I know, right? And this sucks too because everybody loves a girl in leggings. The only issue with that is the most important part of a female's anatomy, depending on who you're asking, I think it's their heart and their brains. But if you're talking about their vaginal cavity, like this is what makes you a whole lot different from me. But like, it is, forgive me, an open space. And if you have polyester and you're sweating, then you have PFAS and you have all these other plastic bullshit byproducts getting taken into your open sweat glands and then it's in your body. So, do you
Jesus.
have to get rid of them? Nope. I'm not here to judge anybody. But if you wanted to live well, without
Oh,
some
you're
serious
judging me.
issues, not yet. If you take the information, you throw it out, then it's like, oh, she's one of those. But realistic,
Damn! Fuck! What
yeah,
if I just
which
get cotton underwear? I like shit.
do that for sure. Get some grounding sheets.
Okay.
Get a grounding mat. Get a grounding mat
I've
for
been looking
your
at
chair or your
those.
desk. They usually come with a grounding tester, and
Okay.
that's how you know if they're full of shit or not. Just like a lot of the glasses will come with like a blue light laser. So I actually
Okay.
had a series where I had 30 different glasses and I just did a bullshit detector and saw which ones were good and which ones weren't. Then I wrote a blog on it. But the test and retest method of everything is like it's crucial. The scientific method of three sample sizes or larger is crucial, right? So like when you do blood work, and you're going to now because now you're curious, are you inflamed? And what are your hormone levels? And you're doing all these cold plunges. We should probably. And
Yeah,
when
it's
you
so true.
right, like you're going through like a metamorphosis right now, right? You're in the midst of it. You you've
In the
changed things.
cocoon.
Yeah, you've changed a lot of habits. You've lost friends, so like you're changing your friend circle. Like, what did you
Hmm.
post the other day? You're like, you're one win away from
From everyone, from people saying they always believed in you.
yeah, yeah. You'll notice those friends come back
Yeah,
when shit
no.
hits the fan in the best way. You know?
As horrible as that sounds, like, no, like, yeah, but you're right. Like, it starts with one thing and it just starts like snowballing. It's like a snowball effect, but like,
Yeah.
you don't really. I think the craziest part about like the losing of the friends is like you didn't realize that they were never friends. They were the convenient friends that were like, until you start living intentionally, like, I think that's like what the biggest change is until you start choosing you, start living intentionally, start doing things for you that will start catapulting your life and start growing you into this person that you're looking to become. Those people start to get fucking pissed, and are like, well, you've changed. Well, yeah, I have. That's what we're supposed to do.
You literally played the magic chord when you said living intentionally. That is something that like I was trying to have people catch on to. Hopefully, because you said it, they will. But living intentionally instead of living habitually
Yes.
is like it's like one of the pillars, right? Like do it with intention. Don't spend time with your
Mm-hmm.
kids out of like habit. Do it intentionally. Put your phone away.
Right.
Don't work out of habit. You lifting weights, like this is my habitual thing. I go to the gym, I lift weights, I build butt, I look good, move on. Like now you go to like, all right, I'm gonna do this intentionally for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me, and other people can't even speak to it. And that's one of the cooler things is like you can't tell me that doesn't change everything about you a little bit, right?
Yes.
That's
Yep.
the
Instead of going through the motions of life,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
living
And
with intention.
watch what I mean. I don't know how long you were really in the muck of what you were going through before with your life, with your parents, and drinking, and but when you stopped that and you decided to flip the switch, you did change like everything about you. From that point
Mm-hmm.
on, you are a different person, and nobody else will ever get it unless they've also gone through it. And it's alienating.
Absolutely.
It's so
It is.
alienating. And I think that's a little bit of where the friends are. We're like, man, I'm talking about this cool stuff. And they're never going to get it until
Right.
they do it. You know, it's the
And
coolest
that's
thing.
the craziest part. It's
It's the
cool
coolest thing.
because
It makes us a club. It
yes,
makes us a
it
club.
does. It really does. It
Mm-hmm.
makes you realize that like they don't have to get it. And until
Correct.
you understand that, then it's cool. Because at first it wasn't, you know.
Yeah.
But
Oh
then it
yeah.
does. It becomes like, okay, like I don't need, and as terrible as it sounds, I don't need them in order to live my life the way I want to.
100%.
And then you start
Yeah.
finding people like you and I where you're like, okay, I'm surrounding myself with these people who get it, or
Yeah.
that will help elevate you and help elevate your experience in life and help teach you things and like everything like that. And different people that are
Hell
all
yeah.
doing different things but all understand like you know this way of life.
Yeah.
It's
And
cool.
you almost have to let them go to find the other people, right?
Yes,
If we were
in order
hanging
to
out with
make
our old
space.
circle, we wouldn't be doing this. I never would have met you if
Absolutely.
you were still doing what you're doing, right?
Exactly.
And
Yep.
it's honestly back to nerdism. It's literally like it's like atoms that share electrons. Like you can only bond with so many things before your electron ring is full. So you can only have so many connections, and when you're full, you're full. You are no longer
Right.
pairable. So you a lot of the times you have to break those bonds and find another person or another thing to bond with, right?
Yeah,
It's not so
absolutely. In order to
it's
move
not so
forward.
much
I
that
like
like
that.
yeah, and when you get nerdy enough because you're a weird person,
Hey, I like that. Nerds are
it's
my people,
hell
man.
yeah, you are already becoming one because I said something about mitochondria and you're like zoomed in,
I
zoned
know.
on.
It's like, I
Like
know. It's
give me yeah,
like,
give me more of that. Give me
you're
I
like,
don't know
remember this from
anything.
biology class? I was like, I don't fucking know. I'm like,
That
yeah,
was
I
20
do.
years
I
ago,
remember that
bitch.
term. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, what in the fucking? Okay, we'll
Yeah,
figure this
no,
out.
it's insanity. And
I like
the
it though.
yeah, and the only reason and I've been doing this same talk for over 10 years and that was alienating as shit as a bodybuilder who's telling people like, "No, I don't really watch what I eat." They're like, "Well, you're an idiot." I'm like, "No, you are. You have no idea where I'm at,
Right.
Like you don't get it."
Right.
But when they're like, "Well, that's not how we do it."
Well,
That's not how you do it, dog.
just because it's always been done some way doesn't mean that's how it always has to be.
Some traditions should freaking die to be real,
Yes, they
right?
should.
I mean,
Yes,
one
they
of the
should.
things that I talk about all the time is like the candy tradition in America. Like, why the hell is the end of the year just like Halloween candy? Thanksgiving, fat food. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever.
Candy.
Right? And they call it
Yep.
flu season. It's like, no, it's not. You're just poisoning everybody. Everybody's going along with it.
Right? With red 5 and
Yeah.
fucking blue 6 or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it really? Like, is your normal habits, is that actually the way we should be doing things? Or should we intentionally go do something else?
Yes.
Right?
Let's
So,
intentionally change things in order to be better and then stick to it so we continue to be better.
yeah. So,
Damn. So that's where her tech cut out. We had to cut that one short. We're going to have round 2 where she comes out and does a cold plunge with me. So if you guys want to see that, like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is that podcasts do to hear the next one.